Good morning, Dubai. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through all of the top trending stories that everyone in Dubai is talking about. Our top story today, 21 million dirham is the asking price for a two-bed on the Palm Jumeirah's new luxury Como Tower.
The GCC could potentially implement a Schengen-style visa for tourists.
We're talking about the new tunnel, which has just opened for cyclists in Dubai.
And Sheikh Hamdan is in Japan, and it looks like the ultimate bucket list trip.
That's right, and not only is Sheikh Hamdan in Japan, look who's in studio. It's none other than Mr. Ali Baba, the man behind the camera, has joined us on the show, and I'm more excited than you know about this.
This is my first time, actually.
How have you not been on the show before? How have you slipped onto the radar?
I've been on the show, but as a guest, like a few times, or special appearances. I just put my head there.
But you do loads of camera work.
Yeah, like I present in on our sister channel, Smashy. I'm a sports.
Humble shout out for Smashy, guys. If you did not get that sly shout out, that's what Ali Baba was doing. Okay, so yeah. You do Smashy Sports?
Yes, Smashy Sports. So basically, I present football and UAE sports.
And is that in English or Arabic?
Arabic, yes.
So how is this going to compare?
So this is my first time actually presenting in English.
Yeah. And what do you feel about a live show?
I'm fine with the live show. I've done it before, so it's fine.
I think there's no greater pressure than a live show.
Yeah.
Because as you were saying before the show, you were like, it's going to be okay. And we said, well, there's no other option.
Yeah, you're pressed on, like you feel like there's a pressure of time and you're pressed on time and you don't want to make a mistake, so yeah.
But sometimes I'll find that people actually find it more difficult to work to a script. And when you have guests on the show here, they find it very easy to talk naturally. They say after the first minute, it becomes quite easy to talk fluidly. But then when you give them a script or something to memorize, it's always much harder.
Yeah, because they have to be like, okay, I said this. No, now I have to say this, then this, then this, then this. So it's like a checklist in their own minds. So that's why, I get why they get flustered if there's a script.
Yeah, so. Me too. Before we jump into the show, it would only be, since you've already done a shout out for Smashy, it would be wrong to not give you the platform to shout out your show on Smashy and how people can find it. So here you go, on Lovin Dubai, Ali Baba. Smashy Sports, where is it? Where can people watch it?
Okay, so UAE Sports, go to smashy.tv and you can find the UAE Sports show and many other shows actually on smashy.tv, and you can find my other show, Meen Mkassar al-Kura, which is Who's Crushing Kura. It's all about football news within the GCC and sometimes European news, maybe Cristiano, maybe Messi, it happens, but yeah,
Messi is GOAT.
You can find that on Snapchat, Discover, and yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. You can pay me for that after. Speaking of paying, let's jump into our top story. 21 million dirham is the asking price for a two-bed on the Palm's new luxury Como Tower. So, if you have 21 million lying around and you fancy yourself in a James Bond-style flat, this is the news for you. Nakheel, the developers of the Palm Jumeirah, have announced Como Residences, where the starting price for a two-bed is approximately 21 million. We've reached out for confirmation on that, and we'll get to you when we get that.
Residents of the exclusive complex will be able to enjoy an ultra-luxurious lifestyle on the ever-popular Palm Jumeirah. And at the moment, the unique development is under construction and the estimate date of handover expected to be Q3 2027. The water-inspired residential tower boasts 71 floors and each level resembles a unique ocean wave.
See the pics, guys. See the pics. Like, we see unique architecture all the time, but this one is truly going to blow you away. The entire project takes the shape of an organic seashell. The new seashells wouldn't be organic.
Wow.
And will stand out amongst the other more traditional properties on the trunk of the island. The luxurious apartments have between 2 and 6 bedrooms. Penthouses come with 5 bed, as well as duplex apartments with 7 bedrooms. And of course, you'll have panoramic 360-degree views of the Burj Al Arab, the Burj Khalifa, Palm Jumeirah, and Ain Dubai. So, pricey pad.
Wow. Yeah. I wish I was there.
21 million?
Wow. It's 21 million. It's to be expected. It's Palm Jumeirah, it's a bit pricey. It's one of the most expensive areas in Dubai. So
I think of all the places in Dubai that I would live if money wasn't an object. I think we've spoken about this before. I love the Palm.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And they've kept it. They've done some amazing redevelopments now. So you have so many places, great places to like run and walk, and then I just love the restaurant. Like I love Club Vista Mara, love West Beach. I love my new 2-bed for 21 mil.
We love everything about Palm Jumeirah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Once you have the dollars.
Yeah, once you have the money, of course, yeah, you can enjoy to the max.
Where would you live in Dubai if money was no object?
Since I'm afraid of heights, fun fact.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like to live in like big towers. But funny enough, I lived on the 80th floor in one of the buildings in Marina. But but that was a bit scary for me. So yeah.
How did you manage that?
I didn't think about it all the time. Try to, at least, most of the time.
How long were you there for?
About 2 years, let's say.
80 floors is high.
Yeah. I moved down like 40 floors afterwards. Like I switched apartments midway.
I'm not scared of heights, but I think I would struggle on the 80th floor. But I can imagine the views were just...
It was beautiful, but I didn't go on the balcony. The door was always closed, you know?
So not an 80th floor tower, you'd live somewhere more low-lying. Yeah. I get
Currently, I'm on the 5th floor, so thank you. Thank you, God.
I'm on the 3rd and I'm happy. I just think if there's any type of incident, you need to get down that stairs. I think 12 is my max.
12.
And also, when the lifts are broken, because I used to live in a place in Marina and the lifts are always broken, you'd have to climb the stairs.
Yeah.
I think I was 9th floor at the time, and that was a trek. It was tricky, you know, with your bags, and you're like, not easy.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you don't want to live on the 80th floor if the lifts are breaking, that's for sure.
Yeah, of course.
Let's jump into our next story.
The GCC could potentially implement a Schengen-style visa for tourists. Everyone knows what the Schengen-style visa looks like, but if you need a refresher, here it is. It's a visa that gives the holder access to multiple countries, and it looks like the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain are looking to implement a Schengen-style visa for tourists. Discussions have been taking place at the ministerial level among GCC nations on how to achieve this unified visa.
So the Minister of Tourism in Bahrain, Fatima Al Safari, discussed this during the Arabian Travel Market Conference, which, as you all know, is ongoing in Dubai right now. She stated that this style of visa will increase the number of visitors to the country. She noticed that promoting Bahrain along with Saudi Arabia and the UAE has benefited Bahrain greatly.
People who obtain the Schengen visa usually use it to visit multiple locations across Europe, hence why Al Sayrafi saw the value this will bring each GCC country.
You can see why it would be easy. I think if you're traveling into the UAE and then you're considering a trip to Oman, you always have to think about visa.
Yeah.
But if they implement this, it will mean more tourism, especially I think for other countries to benefit from Dubai tourism.
Yeah.
Because we're such a popular hub, and then to maybe hop over to Bahrain, this will just make it a lot easier.
Exactly. Like there were many occasions with my friends, and they were like, okay, but we need a visa to this place. Like if they were coming to Bahrain or, for example, Saudi or Qatar or whatever we were going in GCC. So I had to wait on see if they were going to get the visa or not. So this sort of solves all of the solution. We can have a GCC road trip. Dubai going to, from UAE going to Saudi, going to Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, and you name it.
So if I was going to Bahrain as a tourist for the first time, where should I be going?
Bahrain. You should go to Bahrain Bay.
Bahrain B?
Bay.
I was like, Bahrain A.
Bahrain Bay. Bahrain Bay. Bahrain Bay. Yes. It's beautiful. You just go there, like, see the view. There are restaurants over there that you can sit down. There's a sea view, eat, enjoy, relax with your family. Bahrain is a very chill place. You go there to relax, you know, very calm, very subtle place, you know.
Is it like a Fujairah or an Abu Dhabi?
It's family friendly, like Abu Dhabi.
Like Abu Dhabi?
Yeah,
okay.
Like it's very family friendly. You can see the culture right in front of you and you can live it and breathe it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We're going to talk more about places that we can travel to for visas later in the show. But speaking of families and things that you can do, a new tunnel has just opened for cyclists in Dubai. This is great news for cyclists. A dedicated route for cyclists has arrived in Meydan, and it's actually one step more towards sustainable transport in the city. It was announced by Dubai Media Office yesterday, and it was met with wide praise. The RTA has opened this specifically designed for cyclists, this tunnel.
This tunnel spans 160 meters in length and 6.6 meters in width, with a capacity to accommodate approximately 800 bicycles per hour.
And people are praising the move because it's basically part of the UAE's grand plan to move more towards sustainable transport. And this is just one more way that gets us off the roads, onto our bikes, less fumes in the air, cheaper form of travel, and it'll just, it's a safer form of travel. Who wants to be in a car all day?
It would be fun to ride a bicycle every now and then, you know. I don't know how that feels, but
I think you'd, we're not traditionally a cycling city.
Yeah.
But the amount of development that has gone into the cycling routes in the last couple of years, that it's expanded enormously, and there's a lot more tracks. But we're not at the case yet where we're cycling to work.
Yeah.
But I think, like, for example, we work in Production City. If you live in this area, like, the roads are beautiful, they're not that busy.
Yeah.
It could be a cycling to work area.
It could. It's like, as you said, there's not much, like, aren't many cars going back and forth, and, you know, it's not that busy like you would see in other areas in Dubai. So
they would need to implement the routes here still, to make it safe. But then we could cycle to work, or you could get out to Al Qudra at the weekend.
Yeah, that too. Like Rich, he goes.
He's like one of like the die-hard Al Qudra people who meet at is it the stick every like Al Qudra 4 or 5 a.m. regardless of the temperature. They get their 50k in, and then they come to work buzzing while the rest of us are just like slogging it. But let's jump into our next story. His Highness Sheikh Hamdan is in Japan, and it looks like the ultimate bucket list trip, and we truly mean that.
Yeah. The Crown Prince of Dubai is in Japan, and the footage is so cool. Everyone's going to be booking flights. He's pictured with geisha. How the hell? Geisha? Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Enjoying unique dining coffee. It's a bucket list holiday for sure. And speaking of visas, Japan has recently become a simple destination for us to visit. UAE residents can now apply for an e-visa to Japan for under 100 dirhams.
So if you're looking at those pictures that we shared yesterday, and actually we shared pics of the trip, you know, it's like someone shares like a Facebook album, so His Highness shared his pictures, we reshared them, and everyone's like, they look so great. But we can actually get there, not visa free, but it's very, very simple. Since March 27th, Japan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced the new online visa application. Also, they stated that all residents in the UAE and Saudi are eligible to visit for a short-term tourist e-visa.
The general cost for the e-visa is 80 dirhams. However, UAE nationals can enter Japan visa-free and stay there for 30 days max. Wow.
And you can do everything His Highness did, which included, as you said, he was pictured with a geisha on the streets of Japan, which are just so cool and iconic.
Beautiful.
He had sushi.
If I would call this third love of my life, it would be Japan.
You and Ali K have like very strong interests in Japan. Why you specifically?
I just love the culture of Japan. Like I've always been fascinated. Like it's gonna be like this is funny to many people, maybe I don't know. But I love anime, and I learned Japanese culture through anime. That made me research, and I was intrigued. You know, and what's the do's and don'ts in Japan, basically.
2 questions. Yeah. Is anime a Japanese style comic book? And what are the do's and don'ts of Japan?
So first one, anime is an animated version of manga. Manga is basically the comic books, and then that's the animated version. The second point is, well, the do's is basically Japan is very friendly. Japanese people are very friendly. They're very polite in the way they speak. You won't see them like they're not very loud, so they're to themselves. So the do's is basically do what you're doing here, like in Dubai, basically. But the don'ts is don't give the waiters tips.
Huh?
Yeah, they find that very disrespectful. Yeah.
So interesting. How did you figure that out from anime?
So from anime, I researched. So this is from my research, not actually from anime, because I researched on like I wanted to visit Japan, and you know, so I was very intrigued, and I found out that you don't pay tips.
It's saving money, but it's so interesting how in different countries the tips are so different. So I guess in America it runs on a tip culture because the service industry earns so low that like you're basically tipping 20%, or you shouldn't even bother come to the to the restaurant. And then in Ireland it's 10%, but it's based on whether or not you think the service is good. So if you think it's good, you'll give more. And sometimes people don't tip at all. But it's not an expectation.
Here it's like 50-50, you know, in Dubai. Like you want to tip, but don't want to tip, don't tip.
I think that's because we're such a multicultural society that there's no expectation, and I think if there's good service, it's great to tip, and actually just based on people's salaries, it's great to tip. But you know, and I actually think this is nice. It's the service industry. It's not an expectation, and therefore they don't have that like. Sometimes I find like if there's an expectation to tip, there's nearly like a fake camaraderie that you could have with service industry people, and it's like a transaction type thing. But because there's no expectation, I don't find that fakeness here, which I think is kind of nice.
Like and it's so multicultural here that you wouldn't put a norm basically in Dubai.
You wouldn't put a norm
like
there's no percentage.
Basically. But yeah, going back to Japan, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I tried to convince my my fiance to go there for our honeymoon, but no. No.
You have to learn. You're not going to call the shots anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Where does she want to go?
Bali.
Could you do both?
No. I wish, but no.
Well, I mean, you could do Bali this year and Japan next year.
Yeah, that's the plan. Like the next trip would be Japan, but yeah, Japan is a bucket list. It should be a bucket, like on your bucket list. Everyone, it's beautiful. Go to Japan.
Have you been?
No. Yeah. But I've seen pictures, videos, people like the vlogging, the vloggers, the travelers, basically.
Sana Sheikh Hamdan.
Yeah, Sheikh Hamdan, your biggest example as well.
Yes.
Beautiful pictures. Beautiful pictures.
It's cherry blossom season. I'll tell the story again. It happened that I had my flights booked and COVID happened, so I couldn't go. So it's massively on my bucket list too. Guys, it's 8:53 and you're about to start your day, and we're about to also start ours. Alibaba, massive thank you for joining the show this morning.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
A legend.
It was fun.
Legend is born. Guys, that is all we have time for on the Lovin Dubai show. We're back with you every single weekday morning, and we appreciate your time so much. So thank you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.